Hello, I have a message to share today, and this has been the last few days. I've been feeling this, and this message has been coming to me, but it's based on an old saying, and I used to have a poster when I was a little girl. I had a couple different posters on my wall with some old sayings on them, with cute little pictures um, of animals. But this one in particular, it was a picture of, I think it was a little puppy, and it was like biting its tail, biting its own tail. You know how like dogs chase their tails, right? But anyway, this was, it was a little poster of a puppy chasing its tail, actually biting its tail. And the saying was, "Don't bite off more than you can chew." And I think my mom was the one who, bought me those posters. I don't know that it was something that I picked out for myself. I'll tell you the other poster another time, but I think it was because she noticed in me that maybe I needed to have those messages, and it's actually been true because I have found that particular one, don't bite off more than you can chew, that has stuck with me throughout my life. And I have found myself doing that. Yeah, for all of my life, I have had the tendency to bite off more than I could chew. And I think that's not uncommon. I think that is actually the nature of, maybe not the nature, but that's the construct of our society, that it almost compels us to bite off more than we can chew, and to do more than we're actually capable of, or more than is sustainable for us. And it's really, for me, it's really only been this last year of my life that I have started to find how to balance that, and to I'm starting to learn how to not do that, to have to gauge myself, and to put myself first, and to really examine what are the things that I actually need. And like, it's only taken me 53 years, right, to start figuring this out. So but also I think it's the energy of the way we do things is changing, and it's not just me, it's not just I'm changing that for myself, but I think overall the energy that is present right now in our world, we're shifting from the old ways of doing so many things, and running ourselves down into the ground, to we're shifting into a different energy where that's not required, and that's not sustainable, and well, it never was sustainable, but let's just say we're gonna see more of a shift in the way we do things, and we're going to work more like nature does. You know, we're going to be more synergistic, and we're going to be more like community minded, and like symbiosis. You know, we're gonna work together. We're not going to expend as much energy at our own expense. We're still going to contribute in some way, but like it's going to be it's going to feel good. It's not going to be like a drudgery and so much effort, where you feel like you're basically dying inside and killing yourself, you know, over time, because things are so imbalanced. You know, you don't have the energy to sustain that kind of lifestyle, and so that shift in energy is happening right now, and maybe you're starting to notice it as well. Right now, it probably feels well, not a little, but very, very chaotic, because those things are that kind of energy that we have had for so long is it's basically self-destructing. And so we're seeing that, but it's going to dissipate, and we're going to feel the calm after the storm, and then like that. So the energy I'm talking about, like where there's gonna be it's not that there's gonna be no effort, it's just that the kind of effort that we're gonna put into our lives is going to be it's going to feel more natural. It's going to feel fulfilling to us, and it's going to be a more connected with everything kind of energy, you know, where everything works together. So anyway, yeah, I did want to tell you a little story that goes along with the don't bite off more than you can chew. And I have done that, biting off more than I can chew. I've done that my whole life, and like I said, it's just in my 54th year that I'm figuring out, how not to do that, okay? And how to balance that, and how to examine and you know, decide what I can and can't do. And anyway, but the story I want to share with you, I find it very interesting, and it has stuck with me for so many years, because when I was living in Germany as a kid, went to a museum, and you know, I went to several museums while we lived there, and while I had a little trip to Austria one time too, with a field trip for my class. I think I was in 5th grade at that time, but I don't remember which museum this was, and I don't know if the exhibit I saw was like a temporary exhibit, or if it was a permanent exhibit in this museum. But this one thing stood out to me, and it was so shocking. But anyway, went into this one room, and enclosed in glass, in a glass case, was a snake and a pig. And this is what it looked like. Okay, there was this big snake. Let's pretend like this is the snake. Okay, my arm is the snake. And I don't have a pig, but like, let's pretend the pig was about this big, okay? And the snake is like this, okay? I'm going to use my arm though. So this is the pig. It's big and fat, okay? Well, enclosed in this glass was this pig and snake, and they were dead. But they were like this: the snake and the pig. Here's the pig's head, pig's tail, okay? The snake, this is the mouth. The snake swallowed this much of the pig, okay? And couldn't swallow any more of it. And guess what? They both suffocated. And I just was like, oh my gosh, that is so weird. That is such a weird thing to see, a snake that bit off more than it could chew. I mean, it doesn't chew, but you know what I mean, right? Like, it swallowed more than it was able to swallow. And I just, okay, it was sad, but humorous, but also a very good lesson. Very, you know, I made the connection right away that was the same lesson of that poster on my wall. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Like, that was the same message given in a different way, but like, I made the connection, and I knew that that's what that exhibit was telling me, what the universe was telling me, okay, is that, yeah, you know, like, don't be like this snake, you know. And I don't know what part the pig played. Maybe the pig was just an innocent victim, I don't know. But anyway, like, yeah, don't be that snake that swallowed way too much than it was able to, you know. And so, okay, that's my message. And I hope that helps. I am gonna, yeah, I'm gonna read a couple oracle cards. I'm gonna do my homemade deck right now. These are basically animals, and it has a couple other things, like just things that I identify with. Okay, so let's see. Did you like that story? I really like that story, and it just, like, yeah, that's the energy I've been feeling, though, is like that biting off more than you can chew kind of energy. And that energy is that's ending. We're not going to be doing that anymore, because it's not sustainable. And it's, you know, it's almost like I can look at that snake and the pig, you know, the pig representing like greed and or not greed. No, the pig representing, like, just like the excess, the extra, oops, I dropped my cards, hold on. Okay, yeah. The pig representing all the fat, all the extra, all the things that we don't actually need. Like, it's just the you know, all the material, all the lavish, the luxuries of life, you know, that are just, they're just extra, and they're not necessary. Okay. And so and that snake, greed, you know, that snake, like, was so greedy that it didn't think to decide whether or not it could actually swallow all of that. You know, it wanted that whole pig, right? But like, it was just too much for it. And the snake right now, in my mind, that snake is capitalism. And yeah, and you know, all the surplus, all the, like, all the extra unnecessary, yeah, just all the extra things, all the luxuries and everything that we don't actually need. And in a lot of cases, we don't even want it. It's just that we've been programmed to want certain things, because that's what advertising does. Is, you know, from a very young age, we get programmed with advertisements, and to want certain things. And, you know, a lot of the things we want, we never would have wanted unless someone put it in front of us first, you know. And they use, you know, all these tactics and psychology on us to increase those desires. Yeah, so anyway, okay, enough about that. Okay, I have a couple oracle cards. So first one, shell. Okay. The shell, you know, is a I don't know, I guess you could think of it as like the skeleton of, like, a clam or an oyster or a mollusk, or you know, something like that, or the shell of a snail. Oh, I did get snail right here. Okay, let's just say, let's do these together. Okay, the snail and the shell. All right. So the snail, moves very slowly, but gets to where it's going, right? And the snail carries the shell on its back. You know, it carries its home along with it wherever it goes. And if excuse me, if the snail outgrows the shell, then it finds another shell that fits. Okay, and so maybe we're the snail, right? And our shell is the life that we're outgrowing. And we, you know, it's been a slow process. And it might be a slow process. It might not happen overnight where we make this shift, you know, from being one way to another. You know, like, what I'm trying to get at is like the shift that I was talking about, where things are more sustainable and more less efforting, less, where things feel better, and we're able to do more of the things that fulfill us, okay? And maybe that process of that shift, maybe it's not going to happen overnight, and maybe this, excuse me, we're slowly going to move into a new home, a new, we're going to get a new shell, a new life that fits us better, that we can continue on our journey here, So the shell is like our home, our new life, and we take that wherever we go, okay? So it doesn't have to actually be a physical, like, house or something like that, but it's like, it's the things that you take with you, it could be physical things, it could be just lessons, and that, I think it's mostly the energy that we're talking about, though. It's like the things that you take with you into this next part of your life. You want those things to sustain you and to protect you, like the shell protects the snail, and yeah, so we're getting new shells, we're getting a new way to protect and to shelter and to help us to feel safe and to have all our needs met. And everybody is going to have a shell. It's not going to be only the few. We're not going to see all these shellless snails out there. Okay? We're going to each have our shells, individual shells, okay? All right, I'm gonna, excuse me, Sisters of the Sea. This is Oracle, this is Lucy Cavendish, and the artwork is Amy Brown. Okay, I'm gonna use these Oracle cards now. Pull like maybe one or two more. So yeah, don't bite off more than you can chew, and trust that things are going to get better, and you're going to get better at that, and we're going to have the energetic support of the universe to help us to get out of that kind of lifestyle where we bite off more than we can chew. So yeah, my throat's like trying to clear. Okay. I hope you guys can hear me. I have my fan on because it's too hot for me to not have it on. So it is a little bit, a little bit of noise. All right. This one is belonging. Okay, this mermaid's sitting on this rock in the, I don't know, near the shore probably. And she's just contemplating, she's just thinking, she's just, I don't know if she's reflecting on whether, where does she belong. Possibly this is number 1 actually. So yeah, it's like the start of a new life. And I don't know, maybe you've been like me my whole life. Maybe you feel this way too. My whole life I have spent searching for where I belong. Like it's been a difficult process to figure out where I belong, because I have always had that sense of, that feeling of, like, I don't really fit in wherever I am. Like I feel like there's no like box or group or, where I just totally fit. Like, I don't know. Have you struggled with that? In your life, do you feel that you that you struggle to know where you belong and where you fit in? That has been a lifelong struggle for me. And not to say that there aren't like nice, welcoming people in different places where I've lived and where I've had life experiences, groups and communities, but nothing has really fit like a glove. Everything has always been kind of me trying to fit in, like to make myself fit. Does that make sense? Like, do you have the sense that you have had to change in order to fit in, instead of you just fitting in as yourself? I feel like that has been my experience, and I've gotten really good at camouflaging and, like, I guess people call it masking, to some degree, where I even trick myself into thinking that I fit in, but really on a deeper level, I know that I'm not feeling, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling it, right? I'm not feeling it on the deeper level. I am still searching. But what I have found more recently is that I've been going about it the wrong way. What I mean is changing myself to fit into wherever it is that I'm trying to fit into. That was not the correct approach. And and I don't know that I ever really would have felt like I fit in by just allowing myself to be myself, because I think really what it is that the constructs of society, back to that old energy of the way things have been for so long. It has been a kind of like that snake where let's say I'm the pig, okay, and the snake is the way society does things, and they basically swallow you is they're trying to make you fit, but you don't fit because you just don't fit. You have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. And excuse me. That snake of society, that kind of energy that wants to swallow you whole, and wants to make you fit, but you don't fit, like just like that snake that swallowed that pig and suffocated. That's exactly what is happening right now. Like, yeah, it can't swallow us anymore. It can't, because we're expanding. Each of us, we're expanding, and we are coming into allowing ourselves to be authentic, and to connect with our truth of who we actually are. And we're taking off our masks, and we're stepping out of the circles that that wouldn't accept us for who we are. Like, we're stepping out of those circles, and we're giving ourselves permission to just be ourselves, and like, we're just so much bigger than what we've ever allowed ourselves to be, and what society's told us who we are. And so we're seeing that snake of society is choking, and I've been clearing my throat this whole time, right? Like, they're choking. They can't swallow us anymore. They can't. They're suffocating themselves. And all of that is ending. And the only difference here is that it's not going to result in our end, although there is an end to the old self. The new self is being reborn. So I guess maybe you could look at it that way. If we're the pig in this story, and I know we're still talking about this, but in connection with belonging, like, if we're the pig in the story, we are experiencing an ego death, right? So that we can become our true selves, our true, who we are meant to be, okay, and who we are actually on a soul level. And we're giving ourselves permission to step into that, and to embody it, and to just be that person, and to not conform and mask ourselves, and to make ourselves smaller so that we can fit in that snake's mouth and be swallowed up by it. No, we're expanding, and we're bigger. We're bigger than that now. And so the snake is dying, and our ego is dying, and it's that snake's not going to be able to swallow us up anymore. And we are going to find belonging, because the more each of us becomes unapologetically living in our truth of who we are on a soul level, the more each of us does that, the more we will find that we actually naturally start creating communities that support each other, and that value individual gifts, and and contribution, and then there's like a balance that just naturally will happen, because we're all given different different gifts and abilities, and in the community those things are needed, and so we're needed and valued for what we can, well, not just what we can offer, because we're valued whether or not you can offer something. Okay, people will see our value just because of our presence. Like, we don't have to do anything in order to bring value, but we're headed in that direction where there's going to be more belonging. It's going to feel like a heaven on earth, where we're going to all feel like we belong. We're not going to feel like we're trying to cram ourselves into this one size fits all world. We're not going to feel that anymore. So anyway, that's what I want to say about belonging. And yeah, I don't know if that goes, I don't know if that's like what what this card, what the author intended for that, but that's what I'm getting right now. So I think, let's see, should I do one more? Maybe I'll do one more. Okay, I know this is already 36 minutes long, but I'll do one more though. This one says, stop right there. And this is 15. Stop right there. I mean, if you add those numbers together, then it becomes 6. So anyway, this looks like, yeah, she's definitely repelling something, right? She's like, in nature how there's like all these leaves, and then she's here and she's sort of blending in with the how nature protects itself, right? Sometimes plants have thorns, or sometimes they camouflage, or or beings, like caterpillars, other insects and things, they like camouflage and they blend in with their environment, right? And and that's a protection, and it looks like that's what she's doing. Like, she's trying to protect herself, and she's like, don't come close, don't come any closer to me. You are not allowed. You're too close. Move back. Okay, and so she's protecting herself. Maybe she's protecting her energy, or she's protecting. Maybe there's some sort of prey. Yeah, I don't know. Find it interesting. But I do think maybe this is a message that as we shift through this current energy, is the slow process that we're feeling right now, as we're between the old way, the old energy, and the new energy that's coming in. Like, maybe as we're shifting, maybe there is an element of needing to protect our energy, needing to protect ourselves and to maybe turn down the volume or take breaks from what you're consuming or what you're seeing in the outer, you know, we're watching that old energy break down and crumble into pieces, and we're watching the destruction, okay? And maybe what we need to do is look at our how it's affecting us, and maybe we need to take some breaks and like say, okay, I've had enough. I need to come back in and balance my energy as we move through, because we're seeing the extremes right now. We're seeing the destruction, and then like I was talking about, we're moving into where things are sustainable and we belong, and it like heaven on earth. We're moving into that kind of energy. And so as we're kind of shifting and we're in the moving through transition, you know, we need to be aware of how things are affecting us, and yeah, we need to know when to say, okay, I've had enough of that. I don't need that right now. That's not helping me. And so take breaks from the news, take breaks from media, take breaks from whatever it is that you need to take a break from, so that you can feel balance within yourself. Do that. It's really important to pay attention to how you're feeling and to allow yourself to protect yourself, to protect your peace. And I'm not saying let's ignore everything, turn everything off. I'm saying there needs to be a balance between, there needs to be balance in everything. We need to know when to stop eating, to stop consuming the things that we're taking in. Okay, when to say, okay, I've had enough, I'm full now, and I need to digest and rest. Okay, so that's what I'm getting with this card. All right, I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm going to say, you know, that I hope that you can start to learn, like I am, to not bite off more than you can chew. We're not meant to live that way. Okay, I hope you have a good day. Bye.